let's introduce the Fairclough family tuning in from 3 or 4 different time zones. We're joined by twins Lily and Jay. Lily at the University of Southern California in her third year of college, Jay in his second year at Gonzaga University in Washington, riding high at the moment after a massive clinched win within the last hour or so, straight off court to have a podcast with us, which is pretty awesome. Both outstanding tennis players, Lily and Jay, and obviously younger siblings to Ben, who graduated a year ago now from Dordt University in Iowa as a basketballer, the black sheep in the family, playing something other than tennis. But he's not able to join us just on this occasion, but we may be able to catch up with him shortly. But also joining from home in Perth is Sue. And over in Kuala Lumpur, we have Graeme as dad on work duties at the moment. But thank you all for joining us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
All good.
Awesome to see you all. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a while. I've probably spoken to you all a bit about this before, about having one have you all on at the one time just to get your perspective. Because, I think from our records, I don't think we've ever worked with a family with 3 siblings over in the US before. And obviously, having worked with all of you to facilitate that, we've sort of got to know you all pretty well. So I think it'd just be nice. I think perspective. Selfishly, I'd love to just catch up with you guys and hear how your experiences have been so far as parents and as young people over in the US. But also, I think that people listening, we've got quite a following now in the huddle. So I think there's a lot of people who'd love to listen to your family perspective on this. So thanks again for making this happen. So a quick check-in on Jay. Jay, we're going to start with you, mate, because we know that you've got to go. You're a popular man at the moment. You're going to a recruiting night, is that right? Explain to people what you're doing for the basketball.
Yeah, so I was just asked to, get to know the recruit and take him to a basketball game. So hopefully that, we able to, have a good night at the game and get to know him and introduce him a little bit to the team. So it's good.
Excellent, mate. And that, so obviously basketball, for people who don't know, is number one sport there at Gonzaga, right? So it's
huge. It's a pretty big deal over here for sure.
The big Zags. How are they looking this year, the basketball team?
We're good. We're looking really good. The guys they've got a good team chemistry. I've got to know a couple of them quite well, and led by one of the best coaches of all time. So I think this year's going to be a big year for the Zags.
Awesome, mate. Oh, good. I'm sure you'll do a good job with the recruit tonight, showing him the atmosphere at the basketball there. So my first night ever, I'm old, right? So I didn't get to do these recruiting visits and things like that you guys have done. But my first night ever in Oklahoma was a basketball game, which went triple overtime, televised, and students storming onto the court. And then the next day, I'm in class with some of those players. I'm going, oh, this is pretty cool. Yeah. So my university wasn't quite as big as Zags, I think, with the basketball. So that's pretty awesome, mate. And mate, this is your chance to brag, because I've just got a video through from your dad on WhatsApp, you clinching the last match for your team today in a game. Who were you playing against? And talk us through it, mate. This is your chance to boast.
Yeah. It was a huge win for our team today. Playing University of Idaho. Kind of a bit of a rivalry over the last couple of years. They beat us last year on a 3-all clinch match on that same court, actually. So there's been a little bit of chirp around the team today, but we stuck through and we was able to get a huge win for the guys and help the team out.
Yeah, awesome. It seems to be a new trend, I suppose, the last 2, 3, 4 years of whoever wins that clinch match, it's a license for your whole team to jump out and basically pile on. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be that person that clinches it. And you were saying off camera before that was your first experience of being that clinch match experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the crowd.
Yeah, I don't think there's not many words that can describe it like that. Just pure like adrenaline feeling. It's pretty cool. Kind of still feeling it a little bit, but it's such a good moment.
Awesome, mate. Awesome. Well, when we put this podcast together, I'm going to make sure we sort of play that in the background as you were talking there, mate, so we can really show it off.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
And I think I heard a little maybe a little sound in the background. Was it maybe a puppy dog or something when you were videoing it or something? I think.
Yeah,
that was, I videoed it at home. So yeah,
There
that
you
was
go.
Buddy shaking.
I think it was video on the TV, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not the best quality, Chris.
I'll
Oh, that's
I'll get
fine.
you. I've got a better video there for you, so if you want. Yeah.
Yeah,
No worries.
send that.
But it's just good to have another Fairclough member in it, like the dog as well. It's always just adds to it, adds to the intrigue. Mate, look, again, very mindful you got to go, so I'm going to stick with you just for a bit, Jay.
Yeah.
Overall, you're in your second year, so how are you finding it, mate? Like, just give us your report card to date. You know, on court, off court, the whole works.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I couldn't be more like happy with the place I'm at. Group of guys, the coach, like I've just found I was able to, get into the team and have that team environment that I've loved like really quickly. Like we got a really good team chemistry with the guys, and I don't think you've ever been to Spokane, but it's a really really cool place. Like everyone gets around Gonzaga. Like you just go into the city, you go into a restaurant, like everyone's asking you how you going, like how's the team going. So I've never experienced something like it, and it's honestly been the last couple of years have been some of the best years of my life for sure. So it's been good.
That's excellent, mate. And in terms of, I can see the sort of passion in your voice there, or hear it when you talk there. It's pretty cool, from the tennis perspective and feeling really good about yourself. And what about the academic side, mate? How's that coming along?
Yeah, it's been good. I'm studying business at the moment. Haven't declared what I'm going to do. Leaning towards finance and maybe like a international business minor. But it's been good. Yeah, the business school here is really good. I've had this last year has probably been really good, like academic wise. I've started to get classes that are a little bit more interesting. Because as a lot of people know, like the first year is kind of all over the place with a bunch of different classes, but I've had a couple of really cool professors, and it's been good. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you said that, because that's a real common topic that comes up for us, for people listening, is that not only you mentioned before you haven't declared or haven't nominated your major, and that is permitted in America. You don't have to do that within your first 2 years. You can take taste test subjects, which you did a lot of last year, but now obviously honing in on things you're interested in with a view to, like you said, probably do finance/business or something in that realm. So yeah, it's just good for people listening to know it's a different system, pretty awesome system too, that gives you that flexibility. Couple more things for you, Jay, and I'll let you go off to the basketball, mate. But so what's probably the biggest thing? This is an on-the-spot question, this one. So see how you go with this one, mate. But like, what's the biggest thing that surprised you about, the idea you're lying in bed at home in Perth, you've never been to college before, you're thinking, okay, I'm going over there, and now you're actually there, and now you're into your second year. What's been the biggest thing that's different from what you perceived it was going to be to what it actually is? What's been the best surprise?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the team, like in environment and chemistry, is something that I never like expected from a sport like tennis. Some of these guys, like I spend all day, every day with these guys, and some of these guys I'm going to be friends for life with. All of them I'm going to be friends for life with, and we built such a great kind of bond with these guys over the last 2 years, and that's something I just never thought would happen in a sport like tennis. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that's right. It's a very, very individual sport, isn't it? Pretty much every place in the world besides where you're at now. So that's interesting. Are they from all over different countries, Jay?
Yeah, I think we've got one American in our team, and the rest is all international. A lot of guys from England, from London. So getting a good banter with them is pretty cool as well.
Especially over this summer just gone, would have been good.
100%. Hopefully I get to go over there over the next break. So should be cool to go explore Europe a little bit.
Magic. Awesome. Very good. Two more little things for you I'd love to touch on, and then you can take off. I'll let you go, mate.
Perfect.
But so I think what I'd like to sort of ask, like, what do you think, if you rewind a little bit again for a year or so ago, what do you think are the keys to actually picking the right college for you? Like, what did it come down to? And when you answer it, just think of someone who's 16 in Perth or somewhere thinking about going to college or in the process. What did it come down to? Because you've obviously picked the right one, listening to what you said before.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So what were some of the tips do you think you could give there?
I think just that healthy kind of texting and calling with the coaches, making sure that you're always wondering what you're doing. And that was evident with this school. Like I was always being texted, asking how I was going. And that's like a clear sign that they kind of care about you and are invested in you. And I was lucky enough to go on the visits, which for me was such a big thing because I was able to actually see what life would be like. Because, I mean, every city in America is so much different. And then, with your help, and I was lucky enough to have a ex-alumni that was from Perth that I knew quite well. And that helped a lot because he was pretty evident that I should go to Gonzaga. And he was pushing me a lot to go here. So I was pretty fortunate for him to let me know that. So, yeah, it was good.
Absolutely. So having someone to bounce it off is one thing, someone who's been there. Also, I think another thing, the visit, we'll get to the visits a bit later. I might get mum and dad's perspective on that and how useful and important they were. But the other thing I think you said really cool we find is communicative coaches. Not all coaches are, and some coaches can be interested, but they don't show it sometimes. But you're a long way away, trying to grasp onto any bit of interest and go, right, okay, this coach really wants me. So I think that's a really big thing that makes people feel comfortable with a coach that really wants them rather than you feeling like you're chasing the coach. I think that's a really key thing. So that's good advice. I mean, Lily's nodding, so I think Lily probably experienced that a little bit as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll definitely get your perspective in a sec, Lily. But I was just on Lily and Ben for you, Jay. Last question for you. What role did they play as well? Because obviously they both went to college, or Lily just before you, and Ben obviously a couple of years before you. What's in observing them or talking to them or seeing them go through the process? Do you think that helped you as well, being the third one?
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Because I talked to Ben a lot when he was over there. Lily went a little bit before me, but majority was with Ben, and he was just kind of clear that you'll be able to tell from a coach's contact, like if they're really interested in you. And I know that you had quite a lot of contact with my coach over here over the recruiting process, and I remember you were kind of pushing me towards coming here as well. So that was a good sign as well.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Very good. Mate, you look like it's hard to tell on a video through here, but you look like you might have put on a bit of size too, a bit of weight, bit of filled out of it. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying. I think I have put on a few kilograms, which is much needed. But we're still in the process of gaining a little bit of weight. But I have been putting in the work in the gym, so it's starting to pay off a little bit.
Passed the freshman 15.
I did. Yeah, that was I think that was last semester that I passed it. But it's all muscle, pure muscle over here.
Freshman 15, fill us in on that one, Lily.
Oh, it's kind of like a running joke that whenever people join college, especially like athletes, they always put 15 pounds on their freshman year just from like the American food and the quality. And honestly, it happens to a lot of people, especially the guys. I think they eat so much food at college. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true that there's no shortage of food. And I think, yeah, after your first, there's so much you learn in your first year, isn't there, as a freshman? Like when you look at now, both of you beyond that first year, you sort of figure stuff out. Yeah, right. I'm not going to eat that. I can, but I don't need it. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to, manage this part of it. And yeah, I'm not going to stress about this. I'm going to really focus on this. There's so much you learn, and food's just one part of it, isn't it? Just learning because it's a different, you're in a different system and different culture.
100%.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, for most Aussie athletes, not just tennis, putting on pounds is actually necessary. Most of our kids go over probably a little bit under muscled in most sports, and that's the biggest thing we notice in a year or two is a fair bit of size go on. Some part of that is diet, and the other is just getting in the gym, which obviously you've done a bit of there, Jay. Making some gains, mate. Good.
Yeah.
Very
He
good.
hates that comment, Chris.
Making gains.
No, the observation that you made and the comment about him putting on some muscle, he just hates that.
Is he a bit shy? Is he, Graeme?
No. Keep it coming, Chris. I love it.
Yeah, I know, mate. I figured Dad was being a bit. Yeah. Visions of you, mate, around home at Christmas, just shirt off, mate, just getting the rig out. Yeah, fair enough.
That's the goal.
Good on you. All right, mate. Well, I'll let you go, Jay. I know you got to jump off to the basketball, mate, but really appreciate you joining us. It's been a bit tricky to try and get everyone together, but appreciate you, mate, and well done today. And
thank you.
Keep it going.
Thank you. Happy to talk to you guys. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks,
Have a
mate.
good one.
Catch up.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
There we go. All good. Well, that worked out well. It's good to see Jay there, and he's obviously on cloud nine. Awesome.
Yeah.
Experience. Lily, have you had one of those clinch wins?
I actually haven't ever been a 3-all match. I play pretty fast usually, so I'm never on court when the 3-all match is going on. So I would love to at the end of my college career to have a 3-all clinch. It's pretty special. But we just watched our men's team actually play UCLA, which is our crosstown rival, and they won 4-3. So that was pretty epic. Those are my favorite sports games to go to, the crosstown rivalry with UCLA. So they had packed out stands. There was 700 people there. So
that's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah.
Pretty fun.
And it's not quiet, is it? They get up and about.
No, a lot of chirping, a lot of some nasty comments going around from the opposing team. So
oh, really?
It's fun. The guys, yeah, some fun atmosphere.
Yeah. And have you generally found that kind of atmosphere is a good thing, as opposed to sort of playing on a backcourt in, some tournament somewhere, playing a consolation match when it's, you know what I mean? You'd rather a bit of stuff happening in the crowd, I'd imagine, right?
Oh yeah, it's so different from playing even some big tournaments in Australia, playing qualies of Pro Tour or something, and being out on court 16 in the corner with no one watching except my coach, to having just students from all over the school coming to watch, and it's pretty special playing college tennis.
It is, isn't it? I think, interestingly, I think it's a different kind of pressure when you got a big crowd watching, but they're supporting you. But I think there's more pressure playing on your own in that console, because it's a little rite of passage. I think every player has to go through it, and it's a bit of a test to see how much do you actually love this sport. If you can handle consos on court 16 where 3 or 4 people actually care about that result, I think it's a good test. So I think if you can handle that, you can handle the crowds in America, because it's generally one of support and things like that. Yeah. I could talk all night about that, because I had this one moment, Lily, where it was a clinch match and the crowd was drunk. We were at a college town in New Orleans. They were having an open, some sort of day. I don't know what it was, but it was kegs on the side of the court, and they were very rowdy and no idea about the etiquette of tennis, which made it quite fun. But at 5-all in the third set, I was serving and I did a fault, and in between my second serve, my first and second serve, one side of the crowd yelled out, "What time is it?" And the other crowd out, "Break time, baby." And this is in the middle of my serving action. I don't think my serve even made the net. I choked, but it was. But that I loved it when you look back. Oh gosh, that was fun. Like, I wish I'd have won. I didn't, but you sort of go, that was fun to be a part of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun for sure.
Beats the pants out of consos on court 16, that's for sure. All right, so I'm just going to come back to you just in a moment, Lily. I just want to talk about yours, but I just thought, Sue and Graeme, while we're sort of bouncing off Jay, I was just curious to see, like, obviously you watch the matches. Do you get to watch all the matches of I guess Ben in the past, but Lily and Jay as well? Do you find that you sit together and are able to watch most matches?
With the time, we sometimes watch them together, but a lot of the time they're on early. Today's started at 5. I think yours is 4:00 tomorrow morning versus Pepperdine. So, it varies, but generally, yeah, they're good to see live. I think it's really nice because you can. The links generally let you watch all the courts, and you can also have live scoreboard. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to enjoy watching it.
Yeah, and yeah, Graeme, I think I know both of you have been to watch all three play. Is that right? No, haven't had a chance to do that yet.
No, I haven't.
Sue's going over next month. We've been fortunate enough to go to Iowa to see Ben play, and then go over for his graduation. But and I've seen Lily play a pre-season tournament against Hawaii, but we haven't been up to see Jay play yet.
Gonzaga, yeah, all right. Well, that'll be interesting. That'll complete the treble. Be pretty awesome. And just from Ben, the experience of watching Ben and a bit of Lily is, I guess what Lily was talking about with the atmosphere. Was that a bit of a surprise to you as well? Sort of seeing how well supported and how good that atmosphere was.
Yeah, very, very. I guess very different universities, but Lily's at a massive university, and Ben was at a smaller private university in rural Iowa. But I think the common theme was as parents, when you arrive, other parents and other supporters, come up and greet you and thank you for travelling all this way to come and watch, and really welcoming. That's what I took out of it, and obviously the thrill that you get out of watching your kids play elite sport is something else.
Yeah, unbelievable. I'm kind of envious of it because I just think it'd be an amazing thing. You go, oh, where are we going now? Let's go to Gonzaga to watch. You've got 3 to choose from over that time, and and I'm glad you said that too, Graeme, about the welcoming. That was going to be my next question to you, Sue, as well. Like, as a parent, how do they welcome? What sort of things do they do to welcome you as an international parent when you're on campus? Is it sort of, or even just the communication ongoing? Are you in parent groups and things like that? Yep.
Yep, definitely in that. But it started with the visits, and Lily and Jay both did visits, so they really go out of their way to show you around the colleges and the various ones, and take you on team dinners and introduce you to the other players and all the staff, and you usually get to go to one other event or something like that there. So they're very, even before you commit, they're very they like to show you around and show off the facilities and make you feel like you could be there. And from the point of view, when we went to USC with Lily, they were fantastic. They have welcome gifts in your hotel room and things like that. It was great, but they personally come and pick you up and take you places. It's not that you're just there as a tag on to the athlete. They generally want you involved, and And I think it was even more personal when we went to Ben's to visit Ben and see him play, because the whole town got involved, and of all ages. So, and people would come up to you in the street if you were walking along with Ben, and just greet you and talk to Ben. And so it's, I think Jay talked about that idea that even in the smaller communities where you're still a big deal, and their parents are made to feel very welcome as well. And we're still in parent chats and groups with the parents and the friends we met through going to watch Ben's games. So it was good. It's still good.
That's amazing, isn't it? No, it is good. And I think good for the ego. It makes you feel good as a kid, makes you feel good as a parent, and why not? The Americans just do it so well. I think
Really.
They do, don't they? And I think, and it's not contrived. It's genuine in the sense that I think Americans, I think particularly for someone like Ben going to a smaller rural area, Dort University it is in the middle of nowhere. We could say that. It's not a well-known area for most people in Australia. They're not going to say, "Oh, yeah, I know where that is." So I think for Americans to have an Australian that's chosen their college, I think they see it as their responsibility to make sure that you have an amazing time and you feel welcome, and you go and tell the world that Dort really looked after you and this town is awesome. And I think they're very proud of their town and very proud of their university. And I think they're just I think they're so, what's the word I'm after? Curious as to why this boy from Perth, Australia would come all this way and choose our university. And so we owe it to him now to, you know what I mean?
I can actually remember a podcast that Ben did with the college, and they asked him that exact question.
Yeah. And it's a big thing, isn't it? And I think, as I said, it is genuine. And I think that's sort of that's why we do these podcasts, is people just don't understand that about America, right? And it's just until you go through it as a family, you probably weren't aware of the scope of what they do as well. So going through it 3 times, it's sort of been drummed in. It's a pretty amazing thing. Yeah.
Another point on that perspective that I don't think we've mentioned. I know both Ben and Lily Lily has friends from the team from last year where their parents have basically taken her, and she's mentioned this a couple of times and she can talk about it. Parents have taken her under her wing, and she gets invited to that family's place for Thanksgiving or any type of long weekend or what have you. I know she goes to visit regularly and thinks highly of them. Ben had a family that was his host family that he became really close to. They had a couple of young kids that Ben became their adopted big brother, and he'd go over to their house for a meal every week. And Sue became quite close with Ben's host mum when we finally got to visit.
So good, isn't it? It's there's more to it than, like, we're not talking much about basketball right now. We're not talking a ton about tennis. It's the other things, isn't it, that sort of make you, it's all this other stuff that we find when we do our family catch-ups each year when we come to Perth and Sydney and Melbourne and meet our returning student athletes. They're not talking about the big athletic events, but it's more these sort of things that sort of make them feel really good and happy that they've made the choice. So no, that's really appreciate you sharing that too, Graeme. So we'll talk a little bit Ben to finish with, and while we've got you here, Lily, we'll want to talk to you about USC. So yeah, different, right? USC, very different to Dort University in Iowa. It is a big, very well-known, massive university, a lot of students. I'm not sure how many. Do you know how many students there?
I think it's like 47,000.
Really? Wow. Okay, that is massive. Yeah, and just a different vibe, different everything, different. Obviously, LA. It's the big city. So, I guess. Oh, and I was lucky enough. I've visited your campus quite a few times. I actually got to catch up with you and one of our other Aussie girls there on campus, who was a golfer, Sarah. When was that? A couple of months ago now.
Yep.
It was awesome. Like, it was just so good to see you, but also just to see such an amazing setup you got there. Support, like everything at your disposal. Like, it's the elite of the elite, isn't it? USC.
Yeah, I mean, you have pretty much everything you could possibly need to succeed with your academics and your athletics. There's no stone unturned, like left unturned with the amount of support that we have here. It's pretty special to, and it's also super easy to stay motivated when you have kind of when I get to wake up here and go to training on our courts every day and go to the gym and in our nice facilities. So it's special for sure.
Yeah. I think we talked about it when I was over there. Um, but a previous student athlete that we sent to USC, who interestingly is now not playing tennis, but he is kicking some serious goals in the finance industry in the US, which came about from a parent of one of his teammates, an opportunity for work and things like that. So on that topic from before, interestingly. But yeah, he had mentioned to me when we were coming watching him play one time when we visited that success is just everywhere at USC. It's everywhere, like in every single classroom, every single athlete, every single student walking around campus expects to do something pretty significant in their life and succeeds them in their own way. Is that your vibe that you're getting?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's super inspiring. Like even just walking through all the buildings and stuff, all the athletic facilities, there's always banners on the wall of, you know, there's the most Olympians out of any university in the world have come out of here. Like the most gold medals, the most national championships, like for specific sports. It's everywhere, even in the classroom, like the best business school in the world or whatever. Like it's just everyone wants to be the best at whatever they do.
Yeah. I think you showed me briefly around campus when I popped in, and you said we're one of the best classes you ever did, when you got guest speakers coming in from the um, movie industry and the film industry and that sort of stuff. You remember that building you were showing me about how that was?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. Can you just tell me about that again? Because it was like, what was that?
About the film school?
Yeah, I think so. There was a building there. You said I think you might have taken one of your classes as a freshman.
Yeah, it was I know Jay said earlier, like as a freshman you take a bunch of kind of broad random classes. This was just one that I kind of got a little lucky to do in the film school, even though I'm not a film student, but USC has the best cinematic arts school in the world. So I don't know how many directors, screenwriters have come out of there, but I mean, it's Hollywood. Like we live in Los Angeles, so everyone wants to be something here. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
amazing how you can just feel a vibe even from being on campus for an hour or so, or to come and watch a college tennis match. You get a vibe of that when you be on that college. It's just really, yeah, pretty amazing place. Yeah. So, and speaking of study, have you obviously nominated your major? What are you doing, Lily?
Yeah, I'm in our Annenberg School of Communication, so I'm studying comm now.
Yep. Great. And do you think, as you said before, like all the success around an amazing academic opportunity, does that take a little bit of pressure off your tennis in terms of future? Because I know you want to be a tennis player and have a professional career beyond USC. Do you find that helps? Kind of knowing
Yeah,
that something pretty awesome if that doesn't work out, or even after it works out?
I mean, yeah, I'm not studying the most like rigorous degree by all means. I'm no med student, but I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing. There's you can do a bunch with a comm degree, and I'm not kind of up till 12 a.m. Till midnight studying. So I'm happy with the amount of work that I'm doing. It's still, I gotta put my head in the books, but it's not as stressful as some other things that I could be studying. So
Yep,
I'm happy with that.
it's good. And still on track. You want to play tennis, when graduation comes. That's sort of the
Yeah,
plan
yeah, for sure. That's still the goal for me.
on travel. Awesome. Great. Well, for those listening, Lily is got a soft spot for Lily because I'm a left-hander and Lily's a left-hander, so I always got a soft spot for lefties. But yeah, a good classical game, ability to play a classical game where you can come to the net and serve volley and things like that. With, as you said before, short points, power. Power is the way to go for Lily Fairclough, that's for sure. Short and sharp, get it over with. So yeah, I hope that you I hope all your dreams come true there, and we look forward to sort of watching your last year and a bit there at SC and then and beyond. So it sounds like you got good plan and good backup no matter what with your degree, which is awesome, Lily. Um, so I think a question for you as well. As a twin, I'm just curious to see, as a, obviously having Jay over there, how do you? I know some twins are really really close, some aren't, but they've sort of always got a connection. Do you get to catch up with your brother over there, or have you been to see him play, or vice versa, or do you meet neutrally to catch up, or do you generally just catch up at home?
Um, it's hard to see him. I mean, even though he's kind of close, it's only a couple hours away flight, but we have such busy schedules during the year. I'd say him and I have gotten a lot closer through starting college. I think having this similar like experience that we're going through, like even though we're at different schools with very different kind of student lives and campuses and cities, it's still, you're playing college tennis and that has many similarities no matter where you are. I think he's playing Pepperdine soon, and I remember checking that I think I can make that match, so I'll try and drag one of my friends to drive me up to Malibu to watch that match. That'd be pretty nice. But he has been to visit me last year over one of the breaks, which was nice to show him around, and he got to hit on our courts and walk around campus, which was cool. I like to show him kind of where I get to spend all my time.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? You just want to show it off to people. Say, hey, this is what I do. This is where I do my stuff. Oh, that's great, Lily. That's awesome. Good to have that a brother over there, or you had two brothers over there for a little part of it as well. But did you ever get to Dort?
I did not know. I played. We played a match against the University of Iowa last year, and Mum was texting me being like, "Did you ask Ben if he can come and see you play?" And I remember checking the distance, and sometimes like things seem a lot closer than they are in America. It was like a 7-hour drive to get to school, like 4 or 7 hours. I was like, Mom, he's not coming to watch me play.
Yeah. Further than you thought. Yeah.
And no, I haven't been out to Dort before.
No, fair enough. Question for you, Lily, about it's a bit similar to what I asked Jay earlier. What's the difference you now? Like, you're a little bit more progressed, one semester more progressed than Jay. Like, what's the difference now between being a freshman at USC and now, into your third year? Are you sort of more of a leader on the team? Coach treat you differently as you become an older player? Like, what changes in your third year?
Yeah, it's been honestly like a pretty big change for me. The team that I came in with my freshman year is completely different for all but two people. And so that was a big change. Like, these girls that I spend every day with, like Jay said, like he spends every day with his teammates. They become your family while you're here. They're like my sisters. And so when all my seniors left or graduated my first year, like that was a big change. Then coming back to school the next semester and them just not being there was different. But I feel super lucky and really blessed that we have a group of girls on this team that are all just incredible, like great humans, like great tennis players, but just really good people. And I feel really lucky as well that I get to be a leader on the team. There's 3 upperclassmen, so 2 juniors and 1 senior. So we kind of, I guess you could say, are more of the leaders on the team. So coach has discussions with us about, team values and our goals for the season. So I'm really grateful that I get to play a big part on kind of the team culture that we create day in, day out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm going to guess that's going to make you a better player too. Sometimes I think as tennis players or sportsmen, we're very internal. We're worried about ourselves and our game and how my forehand's feeling. I think when you sort of get out of that, and it's just, I don't know, it gives you a different perspective, gives you a distraction from yourself a little bit, because we know what tennis players are like. We get in our own heads a little bit. So I think, yeah, I think that's why we find in general in America, your seniors tend to play well and know how to win, and because they've also got another role to distract them from, you know, negativity and things that can creep in as a tennis player sometimes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So, all right. So, just for you, Graeme and Sue, as parents, we'll just wind this up a little bit here shortly. So just, I think what I'd love to hear from you, and I'm sure people listening would love to know, is like some perspective from parents, just in general advice. I think there's no better two people to give advice to other parents than you in terms of going through this 3 times. I really do. And you guys have been so easy and, um, just really nice to work with, which makes our job so much more enjoyable. Um, but in terms of your advice for parents, I think we do see parents naturally. I'm one of them, and you've got children that want to do things overseas with their sport or study. There's a natural, well, I don't want them to go. I don't want to let them go. And how did you cope with that? I guess, well, I guess Ben was first, and as you've moved on through Lily and Jay, like, how do you manage the idea of having potentially all three of your kids over in the US at one time?
Do you want to go first, Graeme?
I can. Yeah. I guess it was, how do we manage having all three? It was tough from a parent's perspective. We set out when the kids were little to raise independent children and independent young adults, and that has happened. So I don't think we were worried or concerned that we knew that we were involved in the process of selecting colleges, not much, but we were informed at least. They made their own decisions about which college to go to. But I can clearly remember, and Sue will too, when they were all gone, we kind of sat on the couch one night and looked at each other and kind of said, what the hell do we do now? We'd spent 20 plus years raising kids, and then all of a sudden they were gone, and not just gone down the street or gone to, live in a flat down in the next suburb or next city. They were gone. So, and we didn't go across 3 or 4 times a year. We went to Dort to see Ben play once in 4 years, and we went to his graduation. I've seen Lily play over there once, and we've been, fortunate enough to have a couple of other trips, but we went to caught up for Christmas one year, which was fantastic. But it's tough coming to terms with what you do next, because as I said, a large part of your life is, and hats off to Sue, she was more involved. I was at work, but she was, taking training 6 days a week, and then on the 7th day it was a competition somewhere, whether it was tennis or basketball. So tough, but at the same time, very, very proud of all of their accomplishments. Just quickly, I was playing golf at a course here in KL last weekend for the first time. I didn't know anybody, and I'm standing around kind of waiting for the other 3 people in the group, and this little Malaysian lady that's probably comes up to my rib cage came running up to me and said, "Fight on, USC," because I had a USC cap on, and just started chatting away to me. And her son had graduated from the film school that Lily mentioned, and was now making documentaries for the Norwegian National Broadcasting Commission in Oslo. So the opportunities that come from that not just that college, but that's the one we were talking about, but the opportunities that these guys are going to have as a result of not only their academic scholarship, but the college that they went to, and the opportunity to do internships and so on and so forth is amazing. So very proud.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it sounds like very tough, mate, but also worth it. Well, it sounds
Yeah, it is
worth every bit of it. Yeah, and sorry, so you go for it.
It was really hard. I found it not only when they were all three of them gone, but when Ben first left. But something that became easier was when we did the college visits and we saw where they were, and you sort of have an understanding of what their life or their daily kind of routines like. So if anyone has the opportunity to visit, I wouldn't wait till, like we did with Ben, wait till fourth year, because it really made us feel part of a community, actually going there and meeting the other parents and staying in contact, and we'd message each other after a game and things like that. So it didn't feel so far away, and you felt more involved when you actually have an opportunity to go and meet some of the other families or parents and actually see where they're training and, see their accommodation or their court, go to one of their matches even. So for me, that helped a lot because you felt you weren't as disconnected. But
right,
but
great. Yeah. So familiarity was a good thing.
Really good.
Knowing when Jay's on the phone saying he's in the dorm, and he's 3 weeks in. I'm in the dorm. Yeah, I know what dorm you're in. Yeah, and I'm talking to Jesse. Oh yeah, no, I know Jesse as I met Jesse.
Yeah.
I think it's really, the familiarity that come from those visits are really important. Not only important for, say, you, Lily, to help pick at college, but really, as you've said, Sue, important for mum and dad too. Because I think those visits are a little bit underrated. I guess just for people listening, there are two types of visits. There's your official visit, which Lily, you went on, which is all paid for, and all the universities get together and get their funds together to make it a free trip for you and for mum, and to be able to go visit. I think you visited 3, 4, didn't you?
4.
4, yeah. So 4 incredibly different universities, and compare in that way. But yeah, for you to be there as well, I think really important, Sue, just because for all the things you just said. But yeah, for other people listening, there are unofficial visits as well. So the official visits are generally going to get paid if you're sort of at the Division 1 level in your sport, particularly female. You're going to find the money to be able to fly you over and wine and dine you for a couple of days on each campus, and really try and convince you that their university is the one for you. Which obviously USA won you over, Lily, on your trip. But but the other one is the unofficial visit where you can, you pay for it yourself and things like that. So not everyone's able to get an official visit. So we encourage every family, if possible, if you've got the means to do it and you've got the time to do it, to try and, once you've got your narrowed down list, just go and touch them, feel them, and just get a feel of these universities. So no, that's really good advice. Just on that point of visits, because I do want to touch on it just a bit more. How did that come about for you, Lily, and the actual visits, and how important was it in your choice, do you think? And could you have made the choice you made, and would you have, do you think, if you didn't do the visits?
I mean, for me, the visits were like the deciding factor, pretty much. I mean, it's so hard to really get to know coaches and to understand like what you're walking into just talking to them over the phone. I mean, a lot of people, like, after they go on visits, and I spoke to a lot of friends that had already gone to college or who graduated, and they kept telling me like, you'll just know the one. And it's kind of true. Like, you get somewhere and you get introduced to the athletic community, your coaches, the teammates that you might have, and like it'll just feel right. It'll just feel right if you get there and you really enjoy it. But um, I kind of narrowed down all the schools that I was talking to. I just narrowed it down to 4. I didn't really want to take 5 visits. It kind of felt like a lot to do in a row. Yeah, I just picked the schools that I liked the coaches the most at. I liked the location that I'd heard good things about. I mean, the tennis community is pretty small and tight, so if you speak to enough people, like, you kind of will hear things about like if a program's good, if the people there are good or whatever. So I just decided what my priorities were and then picked schools to visit. And for me, it was kind of a really enjoyable experience. I didn't actually think it was too stressful, but I got to visit some awesome places and meet some cool people. And yeah, like you said, I got wined and dined for a couple days at these schools, so it was pretty fun, the experience.
Not bad. Yeah, it's good. I actually think I'm quite passionate about this topic. I think the visits are really, really important. And I think it's going to help you
Yeah.
feel good, and it's going to help you feel good as a parent, Sue and Graham. But I also want to give you guys a bit of a credit too, like in terms of Ben, Jay, and you, Lily, in that I think there are so many good universities. You could have chosen 15 different universities, more. And I think you would have loved it. And I think you would have done really well at those as well, because I think that's the mentality needs to be right as well. So I think there's so important when you make a choice of a college that you've got the mentality that, right, no turning back, no what ifs, no, oh gosh, I wonder if I'd have gone to that college. You got to make the most of your experience. And I think it's advice I try and give to people wherever I can, because back in my day, I hate starting sentences like that, but I'm old enough I can say that now. But when I do look back in my day when I'm choosing a college, there was no internet, right? And it's really quite embarrassing to say because I'm that old, but there was no internet, there was no talking with mum and dad like we are now. It was fax messages and no emails. Like, I really am old. But when you look at the things that I got out of my university, we had to drive. We're at a top 25 Division 1 program, and we are driving 3 hours every day to get to practice because we had no indoor facility. And so,
Wow.
okay, that's enough for a lot of people to say, I'm leaving, I'm going somewhere different. But we actually bonded as a team in those 3-hour trips so much. We became really tight. We had team songs that we started. We'd watch movies, and it was just fun. Like, there were some days where you go, gosh, I'd just really like to just go 5 minutes down the road for practice and walk there. But, we almost look forward to these trips. So, like, well, my point is, was there going to be other options I could have gone to that have a better situation than that? Absolutely. But did it turn into a positive because of what we made of it as a team? Absolutely it did. So I think, yeah, you got to give yourselves credit a bit as well. I think, particularly probably Ben, where, he's not getting this, place like USC where just everything is laid on, right? Like it's, there's a bit you're missing out on at a smaller campus, right, Graham? I can see you nodding.
Yeah, he didn't get a trip, a pre-selection trip. He made the choice based on, as Lily was saying, the feel that he got with the coach and some video footage of the school. I think that was about it, but it was just purely over the course of many phone calls with the coach that he suddenly realised that this coach is interested in him, and
Yep.
certainly the university had a good reputation of looking after its students, and we spoke about that earlier. But I remember when he was in his first year, and basketball might be a bit different than tennis in that not a lot of freshmen get court time during matches, and he was sitting on the bench for a long time, and he'd been a an athlete of choice for the coaches prior to leaving. He was a big time guy here in little old Perth. Got there and was sitting on the bench, and I said to him one night, I said, "Are you thinking about at the end of the year, there's a transfer. You can transfer somewhere else and hopefully get some more playing time." He never a thought in his mind. He was so happy at that college.
Yeah, that's awesome that you shared it because you're right. It is, basketball is a different kettle of fish than just about every sport. Probably baseball we'd throw in there as well, pretty similar. You've got to get splinters on your bum, as they say, in the first year in those two sports. So, and most people probably can't handle that, and understandably, I don't know if I could. I mean, I want to go, if I'm going to go all that way, I want to play, and I'm a competitor, and I want to play. So I'm not sure those sports I was cut out to play. I don't know if I can handle that. So, like, I take hats off to that because you then fast forward and look at Ben's final year where he had such success. He was,
all conference, all conference team, was the blocking and rebounding athlete of the conference as well. So
yeah. And what took his team, to top 15? Did they finish up, or maybe even better than that? Was it?
Yeah, I can't remember the final, but they played in the national championships. Yeah.
Yeah, and just an amazing. That's a success story, because there's resilience there. There's there's patience. So he stayed true to what he wanted to get out of college, which was be in a really good environment, get a good degree, get better at basketball, which he obviously did, but he had to bide his time, right? So that's what I think. I think when you're choosing colleges and you talk about that, I don't think it's luck. I think it's good management and good character, really, for someone, particularly Ben's story, because as much as you've talked so glowingly on USC and your experience, it's still life, right? You still have bad days, and you still have your moments, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you learn a lot while you're at college about yourself and about, what your values are and what you want to do with your career and whatever. For sure, there's bad days, but there's a lot of good ones, and you also have, if you've picked a good school for yourself, like, you've got many people around you that want to help pick you back up. Like, I've got all my girls that if I have a bad day, like, they check in on me, they ask me what's wrong because they genuinely care about me. And so it's no one's ever really down for that long. So it's very important that you pick a place that you're going to grow as an athlete, if that's your priority, but also as a person, I think.
Yeah, that's really well said. I think being on the tour as a tennis player, you probably be harder to find those sort of people who've got your back, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a dog eat dog environment, whereas this isn't. So that's a really good point. All right, I'm going to wind it up, guys. I think just I've been so grateful for your time and for your comments. It's been really good to have this chat. And I think there's a lot of people listening to this in their cars and we're taking their kids to school and whatnot, to training, listening and thinking, okay, right, I need to take a leaf out of the Fairclough book here. But so really appreciate it. I think it'd be great for finish off would be, again, probably from all three of your perspective, would be great to hear what are some of the things you can do in high school to give yourself the best chance of getting the best college. And it could be very tennis or sport specific. It could be character. It could be just in general. What are some of the things that you can think of that if you could rewind and give yourself some advice as parents or as a young athlete, Lily? It's a bit of an on the spot question, but if anyone wants to go first, go for it.
I'll go. I think, and we learnt this through the course of the three kids' journeys. We pushed Ben, and he was probably the least academic of the three, and he wouldn't mind me saying that. Not from an intelligence point of view, but from a work ethic point of view. We pushed him to do ATAR subjects. And we learnt quite quickly after that ATAR doesn't mean anything to a US college system, where the other two, the twins, were, once we'd learnt that, they had the option of just doing general stream and got all A's in the general subjects, and the US colleges love that. So that's probably one thing from an academic point of view.
Yep, thank you. That's a really good point, I think, for people listening as well. It doesn't mean that ATAR doesn't count. You know, if you're sort of on the fence about college or Australia, obviously do ATAR, because you want to have your options in both countries. But if you know you're going to college, you just got to understand, just as Graeme said, that ATAR is not recognised over there. It's about picking the right subjects that make you eligible and doing as well as you can in those. There's no great difference between physics and biology in terms of getting into the US system. Yeah, so no need to stress yourself unnecessarily, that's for sure.
And the value of having that last year for Jay, and Lily was already doing a bit of travelling anyway, but she had the last 2 years in online schooling, but it allowed them to do more tournaments overseas, and that, I think, that built resilience in preparation for what was coming, going to college and looking after themselves and playing tournaments and, you know, managing being away from home. So that was, from a tennis point of view, I guess that helped them adapt to being away from home, and gave us sort of more confidence too, that they can, you know, manage themselves, they can look after themselves. They're already traveling, they're already, you know, combining school and training and matches.
Yeah, and as Graeme said earlier, yeah, you've raised independent children, you know, and that sort of speaks to that, doesn't it? And giving them that opportunity. So that's really good advice too. Lily?
I think the most important part is just to be like proactive with the whole process. It doesn't, I mean, it matters, you know, obviously how good you are at your sport, like how good your academics are, but you also have to be super proactive with just your communication with the coaches. Your relationship that you build with them doesn't start when you step foot on campus. You know, you make your impression on them well before then with how you communicate, you know, how timely you are, texting them back with organizing calls and stuff. And I think being proactive with building a good relationship early on is only going to help you in the long run. You know, if you're thinking about like whether you're going to get a scholarship or not, or whether, you know, you're going to be an important member on the team, I think, you know, texting coaches, being timely, having good manners, and making good first impressions is something that I really tried to do throughout my recruiting process before I got to school.
That's awesome advice. Again, really good stuff that we say every day to our student athletes, and you know, it's good to get a perspective of you, because you can look back and realize now how important that was. So that's coming from you, probably better at coming from you than it is from me, to be honest. So I really appreciate you saying that. And from a tennis point of view, Lily, do you think, like, a lot of people want to go to Division 1, right? It's up on a pedestal. They want to go to Division 1 in their sport. You sort of got to earn it, right? You know, and so you can't. I think the big thing about college in America is, don't rely on America to make you a better player. It will if you get the right college, but you got to be on the right track here. And I think people start this process a little late. I'm being very open and honest here. We say that, and I always tell people you got to start early. Like, I remember we met with all of your family in year 9. I think you were in year 9 at least. I think year 8 or 9. I think Lily and Jay were. Maybe Ben was a bit older. But and so you've sort of been thinking about college and doing things to get better. And as Mum said, you're doing lots of traveling and doing what you need to do tennis wise. You had great coaches and all those sort of things around you, which was great. Not everyone does that or knows that or has access to that. So I think, yeah, I'm very careful when I say to people, "Oh, you got to start early," because as a business owner, I don't want people to think that we're just trying to rush them into a big decision, because we're not. But I would like to get your perspective from anyone in this chat about the benefits of just starting early on that one, you know, in terms of about getting things in line for the college pathway.
I think for me, like, I was very sure that I wanted to go to college in America, and I didn't want to do like ATAR or go to school in Australia. So as soon as I started that, like getting things in order for me meant obviously finishing high school and doing as well as I could. And then talking to as many schools as I could, even at the start, like schools that maybe like I wasn't so interested in, still having those calls and actually getting experience, like talking to coaches, learning what kind of things they want to hear from you, you know, that sort of thing. So starting early, I think was big for me. I almost started like probably similar time to Ben. I think Ben started quite late in the process, but I can't remember if I started maybe just after him or not. So
It was year 10 you started with Jay, I'm pretty sure, and which was wise. And Ben was maybe entering year 12, I think. So yeah, no, it's, and look, Ben's got a great outcome out of it, and it doesn't mean that you start late and it's that's the end of college for you. It just gives you a better chance and probably provides a little less stress potentially along.
Yeah, you just have more time to, see all your options and more time to build those relationships with coaches before you take the leap in visiting or signing with a school.
Yeah, well said. All good. All right, team. Well, I think that's a pretty good little note to finish on. I think it was really good advice for people. I'm very mindful we're doing this chat on a Sunday, so look, awesome, or a Saturday for you, Lily. But so nice of you to join us and share your thoughts. I really, really appreciate it. I've been wanting to do this for a while, as I said. So appreciate your time, appreciate your insights, and yeah, always look forward to your updates and those videos you send us through, Graeme, anytime. We love it. We love seeing the kids do well. So yeah, look forward to catching up with you hopefully in the next few months when we're in Perth. And Lily, you never know, we might catch you again over at USC sometime soon, hopefully.
Be good.
Yeah,
Be good.
Keep us posted, guys, and thanks again for joining us.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Chris.
Chris.